Go.
Same question?
Yeah.
Okay. So I realized that I was gay when I was like really small. I had an attraction to my first grade teacher. I still know her name. Her name was Mrs. White. My second grade teacher's name was Mrs. Brown. And I know this because I knew that I had an early attraction to women. Like, I looked up to women in a different way. And I knew that I, like, looked at women differently. And I didn't look at guys like that. I never did. So, I always knew.
Okay. Back to you, Crystal. Were you always open, or was there a time capsule for you to become comfortable in your sexuality?
No, I was not always open. And I didn't actually become open about my sexuality until actually me and Tisa got together. And literally, she'll tell you too, when we first got together, I was like, we gotta be discreet. Everybody does not need to know we're together. And so we played the little best friend. Everybody introduced ourselves to everybody. That's my best friend, and that was it. But after a while, I had a coming to Jesus moment within myself, and I was like, you know what? You have to love yourself first before you love anyone else.
Right.
And so I had to stop playing the pretend button.
Okay. Same question.
Okay, for me, I wasn't always out. I think it was like my first time in college. Like, we had apartments. One of the girls that was my roommate, she was gay. And I just started, like, experimenting and having fun. It's kind of like that growing up stage in your life, college, you know? So you kind of, like, after that, you get around people that don't really care. So you're like, oh, I finally don't have to really care. So, yeah, I came out probably, like, at 19. And then ever since then, I've been like, yeah, no, not going back in that closet. So.
Okay. How did you break the news to your family
That you were gay?
So, funny story. So, okay. Summer between my freshman year in college and my sophomore year in college, I was at home. And my mom, since I wasn't as open, I was still experimenting on myself or whatever, and my sexuality. I was meeting people off of the little chat lines and stuff like that, and, you know, getting cool with people like that. And so I had people coming over, and my mom was like, one time, she was like, Crystal, why you keep inviting all these bull daggers over here? Are you a bull dagger? I said, no, I'm not a bull dagger, and nothing like that. Then a couple weeks later, me and my mother were participating in some recreational activities together, and she asked me then, Crystal, you know, no, we were watching a commercial on TV, and she said something about, she called the guy on the TV a faggot. I was like, dang, Mom, why he gotta be all that? And so she was like, oh, you know, that's just something that's old time people say. It don't mean nothing by it. And she was like, you know what, baby, I asked you this before, and you told me no, but, you know, I'm still gonna love you regardless. It don't matter, and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I know where this is going. And so she was like, are you gay? And I was like, yes, Mom, I like girls. Yes. And that's how she found out, and she told everybody else.
Yeah, so my mom, I think, like, growing up, I never really messed with guys. Like, I had a couple boyfriends, but it was never, like, exclusive, like, oh, yeah, we dating, I love you, we in love type stuff. It was kind of like, yeah, he's my boyfriend. And it was, like, extracurricular activity
like
or something.
Like something to do or something.
Yeah, it was just something to do, you know. Like, everybody had a boyfriend, so you're like, yeah, I'm going to have a boyfriend. So one time I was at home and we was having a house party, and I don't know, my mom got mad at me because my aunties had said something. They always said something. First I was like doing a lot of sexual activities, which I wasn't. I was a virgin. And then they was like, yeah, she gotta be gay. So finally my mom was like, she said something. I think I was about 19. She said something about me. Well, yeah, your auntie's probably right. You probably are gay. I said, you know what? I do like chicks. And she was like, oh, Lord, why? Why me? What have I done?